Who's reading? Well, let's go.
Learning how to know.
Stop. Let me tell you something. Somebody's not paying you any attention. So I need you to read loud enough to command everyone's attention.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Okay. Learning how to know. Do not trust information that you receive from the internet. Do not trust.
Stop. Someone tell me what she just said.
Do not trust the information you get from the internet.
So what does that mean?
She went from
Do not trust what you see on the computer
in the airport
or online.
Well, what does that mean? What I mean, because listen, we're in class, and if you notice all the time, I'll ask somebody a question, and the first thing they do is they punch their telephone, and their telephone tells them the answers to the question that I asked, and then they suggest that that's the answer. Why is that the answer?
Because they still believe.
They still believe what?
Everything is true on the internet.
Oh, okay, keep going. Keep reading.
Oh. Do not trust information or data that you get from any electronic media. Radio and television are tools of the magician.
Stop. Taylor, what did she just say?
Radio and television are tools for the musician.
For the musician?
Of the musician.
Of the what?
Musician.
Musician or magician?
Magician.
What is a magician?
A person that does magic.
A person that does magic. Fine. You know what? If I had $1 in my pocket, you'd get it right now. A person that does magic. Do you know what magic is? What do you think magic is? Somebody's not listening. What do you think magic is, Taylor?
A illusion.
A what?
Illusion.
An illusion. What is an illusion? Who wants to help her with what an illusion is? What? Tell us what an illusion is.
An illusion is somebody making you think something that's not real or there.
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Well, how do you know what you're telling me is real?
I don't.
How do you know what you're telling me is correct?
I don't.
You could be like so many people just telling me something that you're just dreaming up. How do you know it's correct?
I don't know.
You don't know how you know? Well, that's what we're about to try to learn, is how to know how to know. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
So someone else, tell me about illusion. What is illusion?
An illusion says, I'm looking in a dictionary.
All right, what are you looking at, the definition or the etymology?
Etymology.
Let's go.
Okay, it is from Latin, lucio, a mocking, jeering, to mock, play, to mock, with, and then it says to play.
No problem. So break the word apart for me.
What do you mean by breaking up the word?
Good. I'm so happy that you asked me that. So we're looking at the word illusion.
Yes, sir.
What's the first part of the word? Spell it.
Illusion.
Spell it.
I-L-L-U.
Okay, so now what are we doing here? In other words, is the first part of that word I-L-L or I-L?
I-L?
So what is I-L? First of all, what is I-L-L?
Ill.
So what about ill is a part of that word? I would suggest nothing. But I would also suggest that most black folks don't know that. So now what I need you to do is you have to figure out what does I-L symbolize in a word. Now, the next part of the word is spelled out.
ILLU
I-L, then?
LUSION.
Okay, give me another word that you're familiar with that would get you to that same thought. Illusion. Well, let me give you a cognate, okay? Well, first of all, what is a cognate word?
Oh, no.
James, what is a cognate word?
I don't know.
What should you do?
Look it up.
If I said something out of my mouth in front of you, and you have a dictionary in front of you, what should you have done?
Looked it up.
Why didn't you do that?
I don't know.
You know what we have to do? We have to start knowing how to know. So what I want you to learn how to do is when people are speaking and you don't understand what they're talking about, and you have a tool that you can use to figure it out, use the tool.
Yes, sir.
All right, now, it says, Taylor, I think, didn't you say that TV and radio are tools of magicians?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear you say it again.
Radio and television are tools.
Good, read it.
Of the musicians.
Magician. Magician.
Magician.
Good. She's not going to have a problem because she's going to practice. And she's going to shape her mouth until she gets it. Right? Taylor? Hello. Right?
Yes, sir.
You're going to keep trying until you get it, right?
Yes, sir.
You're not going to let anything bother you about keeping on trying, right?
No, sir.
You're going to do this, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, wait a minute now. You don't think that I'm going to beat you if you don't do it, do you?
No, sir.
I'm not going to beat you. And anybody that tries to beat on you because you aren't learning something, I want you to figure out how to run away.
Yes, sir.
So we don't want to get beat on but we don't want to stop trying to succeed in what we have to do, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now say magician.
Magician.
That's not bad. Now I want you to practice. So look the word up and go to your pronunciation bracket. And you know what? Everyone, we're going to have to start practicing with those pronunciation brackets in the dictionary. Only through practice do you become perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, radio and television are tools of what?
The magician.
The magician. How many magicians do you know in your life? Well, let me tell you what some magicians actually are. You ever watched the Vatican? Have you ever watched the Vatican?
No, sir.
Sir.
You mean to tell me all of your life you've been getting up every day watching cartoons? Where's Taj?
They gone.
Oh, he left?
He's outside talking to you.
Okay. He watches, don't you watch the cartoons on the computer and the TV?
Yes, sir.
And you watch this religiously, right?
Yes, sir.
And you mean to tell me you've never watched the Vatican?
No, sir.
One of the biggest cartoons you'll ever watch in your life. So now you just have to know what to look for in order to see the cartoonery. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
But guess what they're teaching these people to be at the Vatican? Guess what they're teaching them how to be?
Magicians?
Good. Who teaches a magician? Where do magicians learn from?
Teachers?
Who?
Teachers?
Good. So what is the teacher of the magician teaching?
Magic?
Magic. So tell me a magician that you know about. What's his name? You forgot. David Copperfield?
No, sir.
Or which one? Houdini?
Yes, sir.
Houdini.
That was his name.
Huh?
I was thinking of Houdini. I just
Were you
couldn't.
thinking of Houdini? Well, good. So these were people known as magicians, right?
Yes, sir.
Who taught them? Where did they learn from?
Their teachers.
So who was their teacher? Who was their teacher? Now, are there teachers of magicians who actually teach people to become priests?
No, sir.
Why not? How do you know that?
Because
Are you saying priests and preachers are not magicians? You're saying that.
what are priests and preachers?
They are or they are not? Which is it?
I'm asking.
You're asking who? You were the one that made the statement about no. Let's try it again. When you go to a synagogue, you ever been to a synagogue?
No, sir.
When you go to a Greek Orthodox church, have you ever been to a Greek Orthodox church?
No, sir.
Okay, when you go to a Buddhist temple, you ever been to a Buddhist temple?
No, sir.
But wait a minute. Where have you been for church?
Church. Baptist
What
church.
church? Baptist church?
Yeah, but
No? Okay, no problem. Where did the Baptists come from? Were the pastors and preachers and reverends in the Baptist church learning magic? What? Help them. Anyone want to help them?
Yes.
Who said that? Okay, well, tell us what they were learning that was magic. What did they learn?
From people I know that have been ordained, they've learned how to captivate people with their speech. So.
Oh, you mean like the way they speak, call and response is a kind of magic. But where did that originally come from with the particular group of people that you are relative to?
That came. Say that. Repeat that one more time.
The particular group of people that you are relative to
Yes, sir.
have a different way of projecting both call and response.
Okay.
Where did they first initially learn their style of call and response? They didn't learn it from the Episcopal Church. What?
Appalachian ministers, preachers.
That's what I'm suggesting. That style by the Appalachian ministers came from Scotland and Ireland. But the people that you are relative to, they learn call and response from a whole nother place. Where did they learn it? And when they learned it, was it the same kind of magic that the people who became those people who would talk about what we might call religion in Appalachia? Were they doing the same thing? Good, good. So now we're going to get to, there was a call and response behavior from a lot of the different groups of African people. No problem. How many of us have studied this when we say we're studying something about Africa? Now, I really don't want him to have to worry about speaking as loud as I'm doing it. So that means you're going to have to kind of pull forward just a little bit when he is speaking so he does not have to speak too loud, okay, or loudly, all right? All right, let's try it
I
again.
can speak loud.
Let's go.
Call and response from my studies is a part of African traditional culture. Just like rap is. What we call rap and what we consider to be a brand new phenomenon or contemporary phenomenon has taken place for thousands of years on the African continent. particularly in the Horn of Africa, is where the rap, and they call it singing, poetry. It's called singing. It goes back a long way. It's also part of what's called Middle Eastern tradition. You may have heard the name David. David, the king of Israel at one time. You heard of David. He was a poet. His Psalms are part of the Bible. These were songs. There is a book in the Bible called the Songs of Solomon. These are just words, not particularly songs like we think of a song, like any song that you might hear in a R&B or blues or jazz setting. Those are songs too. But this particular type of singing, what we call rap, is something that has taken place for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Relative to magicians, a very important tool, not only the television and the radio, a very important tool or technique of a magician is a technique called misdirection. I've got to get you to look away from where the real action is occurring. That's one of the most important techniques that a magician uses. I know a little bit about magic and about techniques of magicians because I was fascinated by magicians. Still am, because they do some fascinating things that don't even seem possible, and yet they're able to do it. You mentioned David Copperfield, Harry Houdini, who was one of the great magicians of the past. He was the one that they would lock up in a box and put him underwater. Contemporary magician is a man called David Blaine. I don't know if you're familiar. You know David Blaine? Street magic. Just fascinating, and does things that seem impossible. So misdirection, and to carry it even a little further, I had a friend who's deceased now. When we were in high school, he liked magic, and I did too. And we used to entertain our classmates with a little sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is just a little hand magic. You learn how to manipulate things with your hands. And I was left-handed, and he was right-handed. And we performed the same trick at the same time. And while you trying to, watch between us, one going one direction and the other going the other, it was particularly fascinating for our friends. That's all a part of the magician's toolkit, if you will.
Yeah, it's really what you really want to listen to. David Copperfield and Houdini and these other people we call magicians, they were just tricking people. Now, what's real magic? Maybe somebody want to help them with that. What's real magic? What?
Childbirth.
Childbirth, you said. In what way?
We went over for also a woman.
You mean we've gone over
We've
it
gone
before?
over for also, which is during childbirth, a woman dies to give birth to a child.
Okay, so we could think that of that as magic. Give me another something we can think of as magic. Real magic, not tricks, not deception, not illusion, but real magic.
In that same vein, putting a seed in the ground.
And that flower that comes up,
Flower that comes up from
when
that
it
little
actually
tiny
opens
seed.
up, every time the light from the sun shines down, it opens up. Well, that's some magical stuff. And you know what's really magical? Is every time one of you actually opens up when the light comes inside of there. Now, light is symbolic for knowledge. So when knowledge starts coming in, you can be a powerful magician. You can perform magic. You can make things happen. But when you take your knowledge now and start tricking people, what are you now? You're diabolical. You're a devil. And so now we can see when Elijah Muhammad was talking about the white man is the devil, well, all of you imitators of the white man, you are a very colorful devil. So now, how about this? What about we stop being white people and black people? What about we start practicing real magic instead of tricks? Now, you were telling me about illusion, right? Now, what I wanted you to do is get a cognate word. Somebody give me a cognate word. How about illustrious? Illustrate. Give me some more. What? No, that's a trick.
Illusory.
What?
Illusory.
Illusory. Give me some more. You said confusion?
Trickery?
Trickery, not kind of, but no. What I'm looking for now is an illustration. An illustration is right there on the wall. But this illustration on the wall is real magic. It's real magic. How many dimensions is this?
306.
How many dimensions is this? You say 2 dimensions. Okay, no problem. Well, what if I say it might be 1 dimension? Why do you say it's 2 dimensions?
It has height and width.
Okay, good. So now the first dimension would be, okay, whether it's on the wall or on the floor. That would be your first dimension. Now he said that it has height and width. Okay? So he's saying that's the second dimension. What is the third dimension?
Depth.
What?
Depth.
Said depth. Okay, good. Well, what is it when you're watching a movie and they say in 3D?
They have those 3 elements.
Oh, and now we're causing those 3 elements to do something. What is the 4th dimension? What? Time and space. Time and space. Now we're going to start getting somewhere because, now here's what's really weird. There was once upon a time a famous magician. His name was Jesus. Famous magician. Everybody here familiar with Jesus the magician? You're not. You're not. You're not familiar with Jesus the magician. Okay, there was also one about the same time that Jesus was around. His name was Yeshua the magician. You're familiar with him, right? You're not. You're not familiar with Yeshua. You're not familiar with Jesus.
They're the same person.
They're what?
They're the same person.
They're the same person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they lived at the same time?
In memory, Yahshua became Jesus.
Yeshua becomes Jesus. All right, well, tell me who is Asa or Asa? Who is Asa or Asa, depending on which way you pronounce it? Isa, good. Asa. Esu. Who are these people?
Same person.
Their persons, are they the same person as Yeshua
It's a
and,
different time.
and Jesus? Well, who is calling this person by these different names in these different, I know you. You got a frown on your face today. You walk in with, it is you, isn't it? What? Introduce yourself to everybody. What's your name?
Jaya.
Jaya. What you frowning about, Jaya?
I have homework to do.
Yeah. Good. What's your homework?
Reading.
Reading. What do you have to read?
Crucible.
Who?
Crucible, my biology book, and something else.
What is it that you're reading about in your biology book?
I'm studying for a test. Chapter 2.
What is it about?
I got you. No, anyway, somebody get me back. Where are we? All right, so give me some of these different areas that we're in when we're talking about these different names of what he said is the same person. This magician. There was a famous magician that we should all know about.
Jesus
Jesus is where?
sounds Spanish.
Or Latin.
Oh, yeah, Latin,
Latin.
which is a Latin language.
Right, it
One
comes
of the
from the
Latin.
Latin language.
Right.
Good. Jesus comes from Latin, no problem. And
Isa.
Isa,
Isa.
Isa,
Yeah, Asa.
Asa.
He said Yahshua did second.
Yahshua comes from what language?
I think that's comes from Hebrew.
Hebrew. It
You
sounds
say Hebrew. Now this is going to get weird because Hebrew actually comes from Greece. So what? Come on, let's argue. Someone, I know you got a better way to tell me where Hebrew came from. So where did it come from?
What about that Iswa?
What?
Iswa.
The Swa, where did that Swa come from?
From Mexico.
I don't know.
Oh, make it pronounce it.
Spell it.
I can't.
What language is it?
I'm sure it.
Well, wait a minute. This same character that I'm asking, this magician I'm asking them about, what was he called in India?
Krishna.
Krishna? No, Krishna is an Indian. This brother was not from India. He went to India.
Oh.
He went to India.
Can that be Isa?
I don't know if he was Esau in India. I don't know, personally. What was he in Ethiopia? I think we need to go find out because where are we getting all of our information about this character that y'all call Jesus?
Different books.
What books?
Religious.
The Holy Bible. So you're getting all of your information about all of these different characters that I just named out of the Holy Bible. Which Holy Bible?
King James.
King James Version of the Bible. Is that right? What year was it created?
1611.
1611. Who was it created by?
King James.
James only authorized it.
Oh, okay.
James, it is not known whether he could read or write. No. The Council of Nicaea is in 325. James is in 1600s. It's a long time between that time. What?
Shakespeare.
You say Shakespeare. Funny thing about this is there's an argument about was it Shakespeare or was it Tennyson? Now, what do you have to do in order to understand the argument that is there? What do you have to do in order to even know about the argument that is there? About whether it was Shakespeare or whether it was Tennyson? You've got to read.
Comparative analysis.
Huh?
Gotta do some comparative analysis.
You must do some comparative analysis, but you have to read to do that. And right now, none of us want to read. We don't want to read. This is weird. You.